Hey guys, surprise me here. I'm Elena, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about the scariest urban legends in each state. Before we start, if you guys believe in urban legends, I want y'all to thumbs up the video. I want to see how many of you guys still believe in urban legends. Also, if you know an urban legend I left out, write it in the comments along with the state occurred in. Alright guys, let's start. Alright, so in number 50, we have Platte River in Wyoming. And in Platte River, we have the Platte River ship. Through thick mist, usually in February, a ship can be seen sailing the Platte River. Its phantom crew frosted over on the deck. You'll allegedly see the body of someone you know or yourself. Either way, the person's death will come soon. In number 49, we have Rhinelander, Wisconsin. In Rhinelander, there is the Rhinelander hodag. It's an ugly, stumpy critter with a spiked tail. The hodag featured in Paul Bunyan stories and reportedly lives to eat bulldogs. In number 48, we have West Virginia. In West Virginia, there's things called the White Things. Mothman might be the more popular mystery, but rural West Virginia is also home to mysterious dog-like creatures the size of a lion with white, shaggy fur. Number 47, we have Cadboro Bay, Washington. In Cadboro Bay, we have Caddy of Cadboro Bay. While the legendary Bigfoot gets a great deal of attention in this state, you might be a person who has heard of Caddy, the local sea monster hanging out in Cadboro Bay. In number 46, we have Clifton, Virginia. And in Clifton, there's a guy called the Bunny Man. And on Halloween, many years ago, a bus transferring Mausoleum inmates crashed. And with one of the inmates escaping for many years, there was skinned, half-eaten rabbits found hanging from trees near Bunny Bridge. Even after the supposed culprit died, eventually he allegedly attacked humans too, and bodies were strung up over the bridge. In number 45, we have Montpelier, Vermont. And in Montpelier, there is a theory about folks that live in Vermont. Basically, they're deep frozen. So, basically what I'm saying is frugal Vermonters facing extreme winters have been said to freeze their elderly and thaw them in the spring. In number 44, we have Escalante, Utah. And in Escalante, there's the curse on the Escalante petrified forest. Anyone who takes petrified wood from the state park befalls bad luck, job loss, sickness, and accidents. Park managers claim that they get dozens of packages every year sending back chunks of wood from regretful thieves. In number 43, we have Terrell, Texas. And there's a lady called the Candy Lady. Candy left out on the windowsills is meant to lure out children, so a special woman can pull out their teeth, kidnap them, or stab them in the eyes. This story may have been linked to a real person named Clara Crane, who killed her husband with poisoned candy, and later was released from an institution. In number 42, we have Wallen, Tennessee. Skin Tom. Don't woo the wrong lady like young Tom did. He ended up getting skinned alive by a beautiful woman's angry husband. His bloody ghost hangs around Lover's Lane to punish cheaters. In number 41, we have Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. Walking Sam. Walking Sam is a 7-foot-tall specter whose job is to collect the souls of suicide victims. Stalks lonely, depressed adolescents. Perhaps he's explained for the alarmingly high suicide rates in this area, or the few recent attempts at mass suicide. And number 40, in the southern coastal region of South Carolina, there's the Boohags. Gula folklore tells us about evil souls who stayed behind after death and become skinless vampire-like witches who take on other people's skin for a ride. And number 39, we have Bucksport, Rhode Island. Mercy Brown, the vampire. Outbreaks of tuberculosis caused a vampire scare in 1892 when a full family contracted the disease. While most of her family's bodies decomposed, Mercy's body seemed to be frozen in time, making people suspect her to be a vampire. While it was obviously superstition, the legend persisted. At number 38, we have Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Charlie No Face. Rumors of a murderous, faceless man roaming the streets at night were based on a real-life person who'd suffer an extreme accident that destroyed his face. He wasn't, as it turns out, a murderer. He walked around at night because he wanted to get fresh air and to be left alone. The legend stuck, however. At number 37, we have Cannon Beach in Oregon, the Bandaged Man. The ghost of a logger who died in a grisly sawmill accident attacks cars and terrorizes teenagers. The smell of rotting flesh predicts a visit. In number 36, we have Beaver, Oklahoma, the Men in Black at Shaman's Portal. Beaver Dunes Park is the Bermuda Triangle of Oklahoma, with weird disappearances dating back far as Coronado's time, when his men disappeared in flashes of green light. It is reported in recent times, archaeologists have been chased away from the site by mysterious government officials. According to superstition, anyone who learns anything about what's truly buried underneath the sand, they disappear. In number 35, we have Loveland, Ohio, the Loveland Frog. A humanoid 4-foot frog apparently hangs out on the side of roads in Loveland at night, and it will stand up on its hind legs, wave a wand over its head, and shoot sparks over towards people to deter humans. At number 34, we have Missouri River in North Dakota, the Mini Washatu. The red bison-like water monster of the Missouri River travels upstream to break ice. Anyone who sees it alone in the daytime will go insane. And number 33, in Bladenboro, North Carolina, the vampire beast of Bladenboro. Gruesome deaths in the 1950s of mutilated livestock and dogs drained of blood led to reports of something vaguely feline and huge living near Bladenboro. And number 32, in Staten Island, New York, we have Cropsey. The escaped mental patient with a hook for a hand would snatch up children in Staten Island, but the old legend became horrifyingly real when a killer named Andre Rand was caught in the 1970s. In number 31, in New Mexico, we have La Mala Hora. If you're traveling alone in the country crossroads after dark, avoid this demon, which appears as a woman. She drives people insane, and if you ever see her, either you or someone you love will die. Number 30, we have Passaic County in New Jersey, the ghost boy of Clinton Road. Hiding under one of the bridges of Clinton Road is Ghost Boy. But don't worry, he's pretty nice and helpful. If you throw a coin into the river, he'll return it to you. And number 29, in Hampton, New Hampshire, we have Goody Cole. Eunice Goody Cole was blamed for numerous local tragedies and accused of witchcraft twice. Legend says that the locals staked her heart to make sure she wouldn't bother them, but they continued to blame numerous events on her. Some say that she still pays a visit from time to time. And number 28, in Pyramid Lake, Nevada, we have the spiteful mermaid of Pyramid Lake. While Area 51 gets all the fame and glory of its supposed alien autopsies, fewer people know about the curse on Pyramid Lake, which happened after a man fell in love with a mermaid. His tribe rejected her and told him to throw her back in. She cursed the lake, brought the settlers, and ignited a war. In modern times, the lake has drowned locals, spitting them out as far as Lake Tahoe. In number 27, in Nebraska, we have radioactive hornets. This is a recent urban legend after the Fukushima nuclear disaster. The locals of Nebraska believe that mutant hornets from the area have grown to 4 times their normal size and were running rampant locally. Number 26, we have Cascade County in Montana. The Phantom Hitchhiker of Black Horse Lake. A Native American man with long black hair wearing an outdated baggy jacket and jeans collides with cars, suddenly appearing on their windshield, only for him to vanish without a dent. He's also been known to hitch a ride and chase cars in humane. And number 25, in Wildwood, Missouri, Zombie Road. Stories about strange deaths along the road as far back as Native American times and drownings in the nearby river have made it a fun, haunted spot for teenagers for decades. But many of them have been perished in strange accidents too. Today, dark shadows follow you, seen out only of the corner of your eyes. At number 24, we have Mississippi. There's a theory about Mercritus. This story is an odd myth. It is about a disease, supposedly a horrible outbreak, wrecked much of a rural Mississippi town and was later covered up by the government and medical community. If a man ingested too much lead, he would produce a smell that would cause a hormonal reaction in women who descend into mad homicidal fits. Number 23, we have northern Minnesota, Wendigo. This is one of the oldest legendary monsters dating back to the folklore of Native Americans who hunted these 15-foot tall, shape-shifting creatures even into the early 20th century. Anyone who resorts to cannibalism and tastes human flesh will become one. In number 22, we have Detroit, Michigan, the Maine Rogue. Detroit is haunted by a small, impish hobgoblin who predicts misfortune and has cursed the city. He was seen in the 1805 fire, which nearly destroyed the whole city, the 1968 riots, and the 1976 ice storm. Today, a banishment parade is celebrated yearly. In number 21, we have the Hockomock Swamp in Massachusetts. Pukwudgies. Tiny gray tricksters resembling humanoid porcupines will lure people off cliffs or trap them in sand in the swampy regions of Massachusetts. In number 20, we have Prince George's County in Maryland, the Goat Man. This stirred up so much enthusiasm that the USDA at one point had to formally deny the creation of the Goat Man in their Beltsville Research Agricultural Center. The half-man, half-goat creature likes to chase down teenagers in Lover's Lane and distract drivers on Crybaby Bridge. In number 19, we have Bucksport, Maine, Colbuck's Tomb. After a woman became pregnant with Colbuck's son, he forced her out to take care of the babe alone, later having her burned as a witch. The son ran off with the witch's leg that had rolled out of the bonfire, and he later cursed the colonel's tomb, which now bears the stain of the leg, despite several attempts to clean, replace, and remove it. In number 18, we have Acadia, Louisiana, the Rougarou. A plain white werewolf-like creature prowls the swamps and often stars in stories to encourage children to behave, such as hunting down Catholics who don't practice Lent. In number 17, we have Hopkinsville, Kentucky, the Kentucky Goblins. The Kelly-Hopkinsville encounter was supposed extraterrestrial visit by small goblin-like green hairless children with 3 toes. While most skeptics easily dismiss them as owls, there has been a new wave of recent sightings of them on the other side of Kentucky. In number 16, we have Stoll, Kansas, the gateway to hell. One of the several gateways to hell in America, the stairs in an old demolished church open to the other side on Halloween and the spring equinox. In number 15, we have Villisca, Iowa, the Villisca Axe Murder House. Based on real events, in this 1912 cold case features a family with 2 parents, 4 children, and 2 house guests, all being beaten to death in their sleep. Since then, in the house, there has been a source of paranormal activity, such as a ghost hunter stabbing himself in 2014. Number 14, we have Quitman, Indiana, the green-clawed beast in the Ohio River. With hairy arms, clawed hands, and green skin, this human-sized creature grabs unsuspecting women. Some believe the specific incident that inspired the legend was an extraterrestrial visit related to the Kentucky Goblin sightings, which happened on the same day. Number 13, in Forest Park, Illinois, we have the Ghost Elephants. A real-life 1918 train wreck of circus cars leading to troop deaths has popularized the legend that elephants had to be buried where they fell. Now supposedly the circus still takes place at night in the Woodland Cemetery. In number 12, we have Pocatello, Idaho, the water babies of Massacre Rocks. Sit by the river and you can hear the sounds of babies crying. They're the babies that mothers were forced to kill during the famine rather than see them starve. Some say that these babies evolved into tricky creatures with fins and gills. In number 11, we have Hawaii, the Night Marchers. Deadly ghost of ancient Hawaii warriors that march on the waters during nights honoring ancient gods. The Night Marchers are heralded by chanting and conch shells. If you hear that, run. In number 10, we have Augusta, Georgia, the Cursed Pillar. After a preacher was told he couldn't deliver a sermon next to the pillar, he declared that the whole town would be destroyed and the pillar would only be the only thing left standing. A freak tornado later destroyed most of Augusta, with the pillar left standing. Number 9, we have Cassadaga, Florida, the Devil's Chair. The Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp is full of odd ghosts, but one chair supposedly is a favorite for the Big Cheese himself. According to local lore, if you sit in it, he'll whisper horrible things in your ear, forever changing you. And if you leave a beer on his chair overnight, he'll drink it, sometimes even if the can is still sealed. In number 8, we have Cape Henlopen in Delaware, the Corpse Light. There's no lighthouse in Cape Henlopen, but there is a phantom light. It crashed the ship on Christmas of 1665 when more than 200 men died. Allegedly, the light is cursed from a local Native American tribe after British soldiers slaughtered attendees at a wedding ceremony. In number 7, we have Monroe, Connecticut, Annabelle, the Demonic Doll. The demonic doll in The Conjuring and Annabelle is inspired by a real-life Raggedy Ann doll supposedly inhabited by the spirit of a dead girl who was given to 2 demonologist Ed and Lorraine Warren after some extremely malicious paranormal activity. And number 6, we have Riverdale Road in Thornton, Colorado. The Riverdale Road. The Riverdale Road is home to a host of legends. While traveling down the road during a full moon, one can see the hanging bodies of slaves on the trees. They have their own lady in white, but one section of the road led to a mansion that contained a satanic cult. The gate to hell itself is reportedly inside the chicken coop. And number 5, we have Santa Lucia Mountains in California. The Dark Watchers. Featureless dark silhouettes, often with brimmed hats and walking sticks, stare down travelers during twilight and dawn in the Santa Lucia Mountains. John Steinbeck briefly mentioned them in Flight. They should not be addressed or acknowledged. In number 4, we have Quitman, Arkansas, the Dog Boy. A werewolf-like ghost walks on all fours and haunts his childhood home. This myth is based on the sad story of a real man, Gerald Bettis, who is rumored to experiment on stray animals and reportedly abused his elderly parents. In number 3, we have Kingman, Arizona, the Slaughterhouse Canyon. One day, a father failed to return to his cabin during the 1800s gold rush, and his family starved. The mother went insane, put on her wedding dress, and chopped her children up. Today, you can still hear her cries for forgiveness. In number 2, we have Southern Alaska, Kushtaka. Shape-shifting creatures that are on a cross between an otter and a man. The Kushtaka makes noises that mimic children and wives to lure fishermen, though that they are sometimes helpful tricksters. And finally, in number 1, we have Huntsville, Alabama, the Dead Children's Playground. During late night hours, swings move by themselves as spirits of buried children come to play. Alright guys, there you have it. We have all 50 states, each of the states' scariest urban legends. Let me know what you guys think. Leave some recommendations and comments about this video in the comments if you're interested. And don't forget, leave a giant thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.